stay very much on their toes and hopefully out of the barriers. The Baku city circuit measures roughly 6 kilometres and is made up of 20 corners and 2 DRS zones. The circuit winds around the narrow city, through the old town, and even brushes against the city's medieval walls. However, as beautiful as the setting is, this track is also a ferocious technical challenge, where the smallest of mistakes could lead to catastrophic consequence for any one of our drivers. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Oscar Piastri, Albon, Richards, Ocon, Liam Lawson, Stroll, Sainz, Norris, Doohan, Tsunoda, Verstappen, Hauger, Teo Porcher, Perez, Sargent, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Joe, Gasly, and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? Anthony Davidson is with us in the commentary box once again. The drivers are working so hard on these cars, and you've been part of that in all aspects, developing, testing, and driving the car. Tell us about that hard work.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. They're two very different mindsets. In the old days, of course, they used to cover up to 15,000 kilometres of testing in a season, and that role would be more about working for the team, trying to help them improve the car and drive as systematically as possible, so that the data could be analysed in the most consistent way. When lining up on the grid for a race, however, a race driver's frame of mind is all about what they can get out of the situation on that day, and the car is the tool to help them achieve those goals.
Okay, so our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of this lap. Confirmed. Got that, confirmed. No rain expected, no rain expected for the time being. Okay, incredible parking there, nice one. That's going to give you the edge if you can get a good launch as the race starts. Keep an eye on the lights, the start sequence will begin as soon as the grid is formed. Be ready with the clutch. Currently 60. Albon behind. Piastri's ahead of you. Ocon's behind you. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 5.2 seconds. They're on fresh softs. They're in 9th place. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 58.0. DRS now available. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 6.8 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are 3 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. And the time last lap was a 1:48.1. Say that again, we're having trouble receiving you. Okay, 2 stops left now, 2 stops. You've got 10 laps until your pit window opens. Pit window opens in 10 laps. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by, 9.4 seconds. That's Albon behind you, and the gap behind us is 3.0 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Their tyres are 5 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Time last lap was a 1:50.6. Okay, Piastri just ahead. Push hard, push hard. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 9.6 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are 6 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Your last lap time was a 1:48.5.
That's it for another Grand Prix and a fantastic win for Mercedes. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot. A well-earned victory for Mercedes. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. That's a positive result for George Russell, who further solidifies his position at the top of the standings. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
But there's no question in my mind, it has to go to George Russell. What a performance. He's got every right to be proud of what he accomplished out there today.
It's time to check out the Constructors' standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who's joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.